All right, and we are off here. Off into Cap Kingdom, where we got to talk about Cap Kingdom every race, right? That's a requirement, I think. I think that's in the Commentators Handbook.
It's a law.
Yeah, I'm actually reading it here right now. When entering Cap Kingdom, must say it is the best kingdom, must say nothing ever really happens in Cap. That is in the rules. Yeah. You have not read the tournament docket. I don't know what's wrong with you. Always read the rules.
My thoughts on Cap is it's honestly just like the best kingdom, and at the same time, not much to do with it, and that's why it is the best kingdom. So that's how you're supposed to do a proper introduction to Cap Kingdom for any note takers out there. Yeah, this is getting started. And as always, because it's Cap Kingdom, both runners are very close.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty locked up right now. We got two very similar PBs, like you said before, about a minute between them, but Dan and Jason, both pretty solid runners. There's a reason why they are in this tournament. They're not afraid to join the competitive scene. They know they've got a good chance at getting far in the tournament. You love to see it. I mean, I think more runners of all calibers should join these open format tournaments. I was honestly surprised we'd only got around 64 entrants. I was expecting over 100, but perhaps a little bit of nerves, you know, joining up against some names like Chaos Pringle. You might not think you have much of a chance, but we do try to give everybody a chance while we have these group stages going on. You know, the different tiered brackets, so that even if you have, you know, a 106, a 107, even like a 110, you can knock some matches off players.
I'm not sure if I've told you about this, but I swear every time I get back into something, it's always like as something huge is starting. Like here, I finally got back into Odyssey, and I was like, I wonder if anything's going on, and it's just like, new tournament, it's open. When do registrations end? And literally, I checked, it ended like a couple of minutes after I checked. No, before I checked.
You probably should have just signed up, because I probably didn't close the sheet yet, and I just accepted everybody that got around to signing up before I woke up the next morning. So it actually ended like probably 14 hours after it said it was going to close.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a GSA tournament, I can't speak for other tournaments, but if you click on the forum and it is still open for registration, 99% of the time you can probably still sign up.
Make me feel good about myself.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help.
Turn is very even. Did Dan do left side? I didn't see.
I think they both did left side.
I don't think jasalmon did it. I saw
no, J-Salmon rolled up the hill. That's very true. It's all coming back to me now. I'm always a little bit blind to the world, specifically during the beginning of any sort of race commentary when I'm also restreaming, but also just randomly, sporadically throughout, I have to do stuff in the background, so sometimes I literally look away from the screen for minutes. Gotta rely on the co-commentator. I do appreciate you being here. It is a bit tricky doing solo comms while restreaming.
Like, I was looking at the commentary chat, and it was literally just like the announcement was posted. It's like, I'm the only one available right now, so if anyone's there, please just tell me if you're available. And then I saw it was just like, I got homework, throat sore, huge cold. Now it's just like, I might do it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had to have a tournament race with... Actually, I can't think of a single time I've ever had to do a tournament race with no commentary. Which has been very nice. It does happen from time to time in some communities, which is very unfortunate. But if you ever want to, you know, maybe think you could do some pretty solid commentary, maybe you have some game knowledge, maybe you're a podcast host, don't even play the game, definitely check out the volunteer sheet, exclamation point volunteer. There are availabilities all the time, honestly. We definitely need some help, especially with these tournaments like this. When you only got like 16 participants, something like that, it's pretty easy to fill in, you know, 30 or so games over the course of a tournament. When you got like 64 participants, you got like near 200 matches, like it gets insane.
Agreed.
Alright, so we got one more moon here in Cascade. Dan grabbing it right now. J Salmon a little bit behind here. Dan, known to be a bit of a menace when it comes to tournaments. Known to be a pretty consistent runner. Goes for pretty solid strats. Rapidly improving as well. I know that Dan joined, I believe it was their first tournament, was the freshman tournament that we hosted on the Cool Cat Gang channel probably like a year ago now. Lots of runners coming back from that tournament, playing in the B division as well as the A division even. Some players cracking into that upper echelon. Some runners even having like 101s. I think we have a couple 100s from the freshman tournaments. I'm not sure about that one. Oh yeah, Danny Geffen was in the freshman tournaments, so.
Right. Didn't he have like a 110?
Yeah, a lot of runners improving pretty rapidly over the course of the last year.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of younger runners, you know, they have a lot of drive, as well as the fact there's a lot of resources available. There's a lot more knowledge about each strat. And Odyssey community, obviously a very helpful community. Everybody sort of bouncing ideas off each other, asking what splits, you know, they could improve on, where they could specifically improve, what kind of movements they can add to their roster. It's always good to see. As I explained just before, Chak in the chat, that form is to sign up in order to help with any of the restream sort of duties. We got stat keepers, we got people doing restreamers, like, you know, actually operating the streams, as well as doing commentary. We even have some people helping out with organizing tournaments, really dedicated individuals who have the time to, you know, set up scheduling, get everybody in line. Takes a lot of people to make the GSA machine rumble on down the road.
But it also takes a lot of hard work to get DSTA properly, which Dan does fortunately get.
Yeah.
See if jasalmon does it too, and he does.
Yeah, just a few seconds behind at this point, J Salmon. Keeping it close so far. You love to see it.
Always do. Dan getting out of the chop in the sand dune. I always miss this ground pound the first try. Let's see if they won't. Hopefully they get the first try. Both do. It's always nice to see. And having some clean movement. It always does.
I'm not sure what's going on with the stat sheet. I mean, obviously, so for those of you that didn't hear me earlier, J7 is doing a pre-recorded race here, as Dan is getting Bullet Bill Jam. Very nice stuff here. We'll see if J7 is able to answer back on that.
I think you might be able to.
Yeah, looks like it. But as I was saying, so we have this nice split plugin that automatically updates our stat sheet with splits. I'm not sure why, but J7's showing that he finished Cap Kingdom in 690 milliseconds, which is insane. That's got to be a community best, right?
Yeah, it might be PB because I know that jasalmon's Cap Kingdom is pretty good. But yeah, it's a very good Cap Kingdom.
Yeah, 690 milliseconds. That's nutty. Probably not an accurate reading. I don't know if J7 just has some random splits open with the tracker that are just randomly split, but either way, J7 here, keeping it tight. We'll just have to go do it the old-fashioned way, use counting and, you know, subtraction, addition, all sorts of complicated mathematics.
My question is, what is his Cap Kingdom split?
What do you mean?
Like if his Cascade Kingdom split is like way longer than he probably just accidentally split.
Oh no, there's like 4 of them that are like just like 50 milliseconds each.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's just the fact that he is not racing along with us live, but does not make the race any more or less hype. J Salmon here going to grab this Cactus Moon just a few seconds before, or after rather, than Dan once more. Is Dan splicing a little bit here in the Sand Kingdom, but that's a-okay. It does tend to happen with that internet connection.
Is Dan streaming his match right now?
Yes, Dan is live. Dan was available to race right now. J Salmon, unfortunately, unable to.
They could both get, which is a good thing. I just posted their Twitches in chat if you want to check them out and just see how Dan's feeling about his run or whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, I will say that most racers don't typically look at their own channel and try to like talk at the same time. Most of the time, if they are looking at any chat, they'll be looking at the GSA chat. So Dan's probably even possibly listening along. There are some racers that will watch the restream along. I know I do personally. I'm mostly in tournaments for the fun of it. I don't, you know, expect to win any tournaments, so not trying to go super ultra mega try hard mode, although I do try my best. Anytime you hear like commentators talking about, you know, racers trying to have fun with the races or anything like that, of course they're also trying their heart out. I mean, people don't generally join tournaments and not try their best.
Very true. And right now, both runners are on to Lake Kingdom. The race is very close. When you see it's around like a 2 or 3 second difference, which very close. Both players have very nice movement. This is going to be a very good race. Oh, jasalmon unfortunately bonking there. In the end, it only cost him 2 seconds. And a very close race. And there's still so much run left to do, so you'll have a lot more opportunities to catch up.
Both going for that consistent Rango route here. No late clip for either player. Going for Dilly P-skip, though. The nose getting really close to Dan there. J Salmon also dodging the nose. J Salmon's Dilly P not going for as aggressive as a head turn, though. So I think J Salmon had a little bit of an easier time there with that one.
That's good to hear. Swing up. Getting to the Rango fight quite easily. And the Rango fight is pretty much finished for Dan, and jasalmon finishes it out as well. Still a very close race, which is always very nice to see.
Yeah,
it's always just nice to see like when the breaking point's gonna be, even if if there is a breaking point. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some racers will definitely keep under control a little bit more than others, but worth mentioning here, we are having some frame drops from Dan, but I am working very hard in the background to make sure that they are remaining in sync, so don't worry about that. The timers are representing these runners accurately, as Dan leaving just a few seconds ahead of J Salmon here.
Yeah. It's still a very close race. However, I feel like that upcoming is one of the very first points where you could see like a huge difference, which is Wooded Kingdom. Wooded Kingdom has a lot of stuff that could separate runners when it comes to different routes, different ways to mess up, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so far we've only got a 4-second difference, which is like literally nothing. If you're gonna get worked up over a 4-second difference, even in a PB run, something wrong. But Dan, obviously the first to touch down here, as we are headed off into Wooded, gonna be collecting a bunny here. I shouldn't say collecting, we're more smashing a rock into its face. Kind of violent, beginning to Wooded Kingdom, but it's an option, something you can do.
But yeah, both runners are still very, very close in time. And yeah, I don't really know what to commentate on.
Well,
do you think anyone's gonna? Do you think that anyone's gonna do nut clip?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the main thing you want to discuss at this point, at least if I'm commentating, which I am, is the nut clip versus tree route versus just standard routing, which looks like Dan is just going for the standard nut clip route here, no tree route. J Salmon, we'll see if he attempts as well. Looks like we will be, but unfortunately
I'm pretty
for
sure
Dan,
Salmon got it.
yeah, Dan unable to nab it. Gonna have to go for the backup route, so gonna grab the tree moon at this point. An attempt to catch up to J Salmon, but J Salmon does get the out of bound movement. Should be fine on getting back to inbounds, and we'll be saving a significant amount of time here.
Great job on Salmon. That might be the first point where Salmon has caught a substantial lead against Dan.
Oh yeah, and
It's
probably the biggest lead of the whole match so far.
Yeah.
Nutclip saves a bucket load of time. I mean, we see them on similar moon counts here, and J Salmon just in the lead.
Once again, it's still a very close race. Anything could happen. I'm just excited to see what the rest of this race has to come, because so far it's been very exhilarating.
Yeah, absolutely. There's tons of stuff going on for the rest of the race. Even in Wooded Kingdom, we are not done. And oh, as I say it, we have J Salmon falling down. Will he be able to get?
He might fall into Deep Woods.
Yep, that is a Deep Woods. That is not a death. And this is every runner's worst nightmare in Wooded Kingdom here, as J Salmon underground. This is not where you want to be, clearly. Knows some backup moons, though, which is nice to see. There are some quick moons down here you can use to sort of mitigate the disaster, which is, I mean, it's not nice. It's not where you want to be, but it's not the worst case.
We'll see if he can find someone who has the nut to get him back up.
Okay, I was saying that J Salmon knows what we're doing here, but we're kind of running in circles, which is not optimal, clearly. But yeah, unfortunately,
Flea did find the nut, which is will hopefully get him back in the lead.
Yeah,
Well, not in the lead.
I mean, we did get that one moon underground, but I'm not a routing genius. I'm not sure exactly what moons we would have gotten as backups. I know for a fact that was not the most optimal scenario, though. As J Sam is back here near the Odyssey, headed up to try to catch up to Dan, but Dan is already heading into the tower here. And it really sucks if you're either J Salmon or a J Salmon fan right now, because nailing that nut clip really put J Salmon in a solid position, but obviously a Deep Woods is significantly worse than just missing nut clip.
Indeed it is. I remember seeing a while ago, I had like one of the most confusing races I commentated, where someone fell into Deep Woods. When he got back out, he was still ahead.
Oh.
And then like later in the run, he died like 4 times in Metro and then lost.
Samu apparently completely tapped out of this race for a couple of minutes. J Salmon fell into Deep Woods. Sag in the chat. But Dan opting to go for Spiritless here, going to be doing a few moons instead of collecting the Spirit multi-moon, which is a bit faster. You got to add some movement in, but you do skip out on watching some cutscenes, which do obviously lose time. Cutscenes not nabbing you any moons, they're just empty dead space. It is most definitely not my birthday, by the way, chat. I appreciate it anyways. Chat trying to make me even more boomer than I already am.
Really?
It is not my birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Saren.
Oh, thanks, yeah. I'm 28,000 years old now, poggers.
Anytime. Dude, I'm 27,000 years old.
Yeah, you got a few years to go there, bud.
I'm working on it.
Oh my god. I feel like that's when you know you've made it on Twitch television, right? When people start falsely accusing you of having a birthday. I think that's the thing. I think I'm an E-famous gamer now. Oh my gosh, J Salmon falling deep down. Not into the Deep Woods, but into a pit of death, which does, in fact, lose time. We'll see where we spawn here. Probably back at the Story Moon, and that's where we are appearing. And J Salmon not having a great start to this run right now.
said earlier about how Dan could be a very consistent.
No, J7. Oh no. Oh
And
man.
this is and this was pre-recorded too. I just realized how. Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Third time's the charm, right? Third time's charm.
I had a little bit of spoilers. I never try to read into the post-match, like, pre-record messages too much, because oftentimes I'll receive spoilers, but I think the message I received with the VOD was, I wish I could redo this race, but... And I think we're seeing why here in Wooded Kingdom. Hopefully J Salmon brings it back for the rest of the race. I do think there still is a possibility for a J Salmon victory, but obviously right now Dan securely in the lead as he is already boxing out Bowser, while J Salmon's still fighting Speedrun in the Wooded Kingdom.
Yeah.
Alright, so J Salmon fans, if you are a supporter of the Salmon Man, you might want to throw some support in the chat right now. We've had really good success with cursing opposing runners with chat cheers, so, I mean, not to encourage you guys to put a hex on Dan, but I would like to see some support for our gamer in the chat room.
Any support or any standing would be great, and it, in fact, worked for Ocarina's Drew when Saren started the copy pasta. I forget what it was. It was just like give Drew your power.
Yeah, it was a boomer Twitch copy pasta.
Yeah. And it worked. So
sometimes the oldies are goodies. I always like the give me your energy one, and then I also like the X person isn't so great. Are you kidding me? Copy pasta. I think those are the two best ones.
Potato 57 isn't so great.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, that race was amazing to watch. J Salmon moving on to the Lost Kingdom. What? Oh my God! What? Cloud Kingdom. Moving on to Cloud Kingdom.
Chrono, you're entering another wind tunnel.
Yeah.
Alright, so Dan having a pretty solid loss here. Unfortunately, the chat not bringing out the copy pastas, unable to hex our gamer, but J Salmon's still doing okay. We are having a pretty decent Cloud Kingdom right now. But
we are.
Pretty solid Kingdom lead here for Dan as he is heading over to Night Metro, which we've seen some players today have some troubles in Night Metro.
The main example would be, who was it that Drew just faced? Hold on.
Come on, you can remember.
Vandalite.
There you go. It was only like 30 minutes ago, come on.
Listen.
The match didn't even... Oh, come on.
I forget names easily. Already.
There we go. Okay, finally we got the copy pasta being spawned in the chat. Thank you so much, Duck. Being spawned in the chat,
Yeah.
get it? Salmon spawned in the chat, get it?
I get it. It's funny.
I'm a comedian. That's why they put me in the booth.
That's why you put yourself in the booth.
Yeah, this is actually the Sarah Mew show. I'm just here to promote myself.
And having clean movement, as he almost always does. Yeah, like, sorry, I've just been the worst with names.
It's okay, names are hard. Luckily they are they're right in front of you on the screen in big bold letters, so that does help.
Dude, there was one time, I forget where it was. There was like I forget where I went, but there was this girl that I liked, and I knew, and people kept giving me her name, but I couldn't remember it to save my life. It was.
You must have liked her a lot, then.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the run from Dan right now is pretty sus. We're going to have the run doctors look at it and see if there's any sort of audio splicing going on. Don't worry, we have the team on it in the background.
It's not like we have, like, it's not like he's streaming or anything. Once again, if you want to see if Dan is cheating, I just linked his Twitch. So, you guys can check that out if you want to.
Yeah, I think the best way to make sure that a runner isn't splicing is in fact to go to their channel and click the follow button.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's not 100%, it's like 95% efficient. If you want to fully make it efficient, you have to click the notification bell. But, I mean, do you really want to do that? That's up to you. Just depends on how fair you are.
And then I also heard that like it makes it so much more easy to find out. Like it'll be like a pop-up like this guy's cheating if you give him a Twitch Prime.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely true.
Don't take my word for it, take Twitch's. Ooh, Dan getting an unlucky hitbox there, not making 2 cycles. Yeah.
So, Dan, you know, having a pretty good Mecha Wiggler, I would say, right? I mean, this is pretty much optimal, correct?
Yeah. It's the most. It's the
oh
best
my
one
gosh! Still unable, just chasing down this final
my
ball.
God!
That was
Come
like
on. Okay.
5 or 6 shots in order to get one Wiggler shot off. That is unfortunate for Dan, but gives Jay Salmon a little bit of breathing room here, as Jay Salmon is just entering City Hall. But I mean, I think this is proof, all the proof in the world that you possibly need. That copy passes in the chat, I mean, they work.
I'm trying to think of like a good copy pasta that I've seen. I don't think I've seen any. Yeah. Then moving on to Day Metro, while Jason's about to start the Mecha Wiggler fight. Let's see if Dan can get a successful Metro Dram here. And he got it. And Dan trying to get a good scooter clip, which he does successfully get. With those lineups, to me it just always looks like it takes quite a bit to set up. So sometimes it just seems like that the time save sometimes isn't really worth it based on all the time you have to set up. That you use to set up usually.
Yeah, I mean,
either way, he did it.
It's up in the air for sure every time, but I mean, if you're confident in your ability to get the strat quickly, I think it's definitely worth going for. I mean, everyone makes mistakes. You're gonna make potential mistakes with any sort of strat you go for. And Jay Salmon here, not having the best of time on the Wiggler, should be able to clear it out as long as we have some good aim. Nice. All right, so does end up saving time over Dan in the Wiggler fight at the least, but not the cleanest. Could have hoped for some better stuff as Dan's setting up for a bullet building route here.
Oh yeah, forgot that was a route. Clean slots. Heal. Move on to the bullet build room next, I think. I completely forget how this route works.
Yeah, you grab slots here and then you head out to the bullet building room. So this can be a route that can trip some players up, so it's interesting to see Dan going for this, considering he has such a good lead right now, but apparently it's something that Dan is very comfortable with, and if you're comfortable with it, it's what you usually go for. I definitely respect going for it. Can be a bit scary though. I mean, we're adding in this death pit here into a route where you typically don't have to deal with that. Does end up capturing the bullet bill, so it does pay off in the end, and Dan showing it off a bit here.
A very clean bullet bill room. It's always very nice to see. Jay Salmon going for scooter clip, and with like barely any setup gets it flawlessly. That's always great to see. Jasalmon, like, I'm realizing that later in the run he's getting better. Because I feel like that if it weren't for the deep woods, I feel like that Jasalmon would still have the lead. Because he's still, like, in these different segments in Metro Kingdom, Salmon is doing the slight bit better than Dan. For instance, getting 2-cycle Wiggler, that was pretty big.
Yeah,
having no setup on scooter clips, that was pretty huge.
Not often you go for the bullet building route though, which does lose a tiny bit of time over what Dan is doing. But I still would say that you are correct in the assumption that JSam is coming out a little bit ahead here in Metro, but unfortunately a little bit just isn't quite enough with the amount of lead that Dan has. Dan just has to make a mistake somewhere, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing though. Poppy Pastas were working in chat because he got the 2-cycle and the motorcycle clip, so if we just keep spamming those, harassing the mods, then he might actually win the race.
Did you see harassing the mods? Oh my gosh, Dan, you just like entered a vortex with your microphone, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what that was.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, with my mic, it's so sensitive. The sound. I'm trying to find like an area where like no air gets on it when I breathe. Right now I'm trying like under my chin.
Alright, well, regardless, I mean, we'll just ignore that. Chrono just might be, you know, outside of public. We did, I remember a while ago, I think it was literally during the freshman tournament, we literally had someone commentating from a Starbucks, which was an interesting dynamic. We actually put the webcam on for him, and then he left his laptop outside of a Starbucks on a freaking like out on a table, like outside, and like the whole chat was like panicking. He was gonna get his laptop stolen. He's like, "Oh no, I do it all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that all the time." Like, leaving your $1,000+ MacBook out on a coffee table outside of Starbucks. I don't trust the world enough. I've had my car stolen like 3 times in my life, so. Yeah, I don't trust people. You definitely shouldn't trust people either in that degree, but...
that is the best story I've heard yet.
Definitely a fun time, though. I probably wouldn't fly on GSA. I'd probably... Actually, they probably wouldn't notice if I did that, if I'm really honest.
Never know, though.
We try to keep it a little bit professional here, though.
Yeah. What was the weirdest bonk I've seen? Jasalmon just now.
I like that one. Spam this cam to help out Sam. I think that's a good one.
Yeah. Like it. Oh, I have a good one. I have a good one.
That would have been a terrible. Like, I would have felt so bad if this laptop got stolen. Like, while doing like, I would have felt so horrible. Like, I don't even know what I would have done.
Imagine how that would be in real life if, like, an IRL streamer just got mugged straight up.
I'm sure that's happened. That's horrible. I've actually been in, like, friends' IRL streams where they've, like, ran into the, like, Yakuza in the streets. Like, it's, like, a real problem for sure. I mean, there's bad people out there. Regardless of whether you're streaming or not, you gotta be careful for people outside in the real world.
Yeah, always do.
But either way, going back to the run, it looks like Dan is having a pretty good snow here as JSalmon just now dropping in. Gonna be rolling over to King Toad over here. Definitely not a captain. We're upgrading him today.
I just want to touch up on a little bit about the raw thing a bit earlier, because I just think it's always interesting, because something that I've seen like a lot online and in public is that a lot of kids actually get robbed of a lot of chances. That's why I'm happy to introduce the sponsorship of the Urban Arts Partnership for this tournament.
That is very true. There are a lot of kids out there who don't have the chance to go to college, particularly the ones that want to get degrees in game design. The Urban Arts Partnership is out there making it happen. They're sending kids to school, whether directly financially supporting them and getting to those classes, giving them the skills they need in order to succeed. And one good thing to mention is that 100% of students that go through their School of Interactive Arts program move on to get a degree in game design, which is pretty poggers.
It's always very great to see.
Yeah, I mean, 100% consistency is not something you see a lot in speedrunning, but the Urban Arts Partnership has that down. We will be running some fundraisers for them over the next couple of months. If you are interested in the program, do check them out, the Urban Arts Partnership. Trying to raise awareness for them. Really appreciate anybody just spreading the word if you can. But looks like Jay Salmon here not having the worst time in Snow Kingdom so far, but has just begun, while Dan gonna be heading off to Snowdram. Probably the most difficult strat in this kingdom, I would say.
Let's see if you can get it, seeing on how experienced this runner is and how consistent he can be. I'm excited to see if he can get it. Does he get it?
Yeah, he does get it. Looked like we had some like mosaic censorship on the screen for a minute with the stream quality dipping a little bit there, but did manage to snag that Snowdram regardless of the blurry vision on our end. Looks like we got Jay Salmon here in the Blowy Joey room. Perhaps Blowy Joey is also in Chrono's room right now. A little bit of wind noise coming again from Chrono's side. I don't know. We had a pretty good run last run with your microphone. Might have to work on getting some sponsorships in the mic department on GSA. I don't know. Blue Snowball Company, hit us up. I think it's just called Blue.
Blue Yeti. Blue Yeti.
Yeah, they make all sorts of microphones. Where are they at? Come on. Where's our sponsorship? Come on. I think back in the day, the meme was Taco Bell was going to be our sponsor. That never happened.
It's funny. I'm sorry, I have to point. Like, whenever I think of Blowy Joey, I cannot think of the Super Mario Odyssey enemy.
What do you mean? That's his name.
I know, it's just my mind comes up with a different image instead of the Mario Odyssey enemy, to say the least.
I don't know where we're going with this, so I'm just gonna move on because I'm not really sure what to think about that.
See if anyone does the new chest clip in Seaside Kingdom.
Yeah, that is a good question. I mean, it's a new set of racers, a new set of possibilities here. Very hot movement in the Gushing move from Dan, going for that up throw cap bounce. I love it. That is crazy. I think we saw Dan go for that in his other races. Not sure if we saw a successful attempt, but that one was definitely successful. Love to see it as Jay Salmon opting for the Rango room here. Going to be collecting this moon at the end. Then warping back to the Odyssey, you do get to skip over the Dram strat, but it is a little bit slower.
Doesn't seem like they's doing the new strat, but that's alright. How great his lead is, he could be good.
It's okay, chat. We still have Jay Salmon to potentially make back the honor lost from Dan not going for it. It is understandable. Whether or not it's insanely difficult, it is a new strat. Incorporating it into your races gonna be a bit of a delay for a lot of runners to pick that up. I think it's gonna be a pretty widespread strat, though. It seems like a lot of players have been messing with it and getting it with pretty good success.
It's always great to see it. Yeah, Dan in this moon, and not gonna lie, I don't think he can get the fish clip.
Oh yeah, this strat is just way too hard. I mean, if we saw this strat, I mean, oh my gosh, Dan clipping out of bounds with the fish, that's crazy.
I would have never guessed that would have happened.
Did he just clip in bounds? Okay, no.
Oh wait.
Absolutely phenomenal that Dan got fish clipped there. I do believe that is the hardest trick in the game, so props to Dan.
You have to like throw Cappy, swim away, and then like get Cappy on the fish. It's
yeah, those.
So,
I mean, capturing a fish is pretty hard, I will say.
I personally couldn't do that in real life.
Yeah, probably not. I feel like throwing a hat at a fish underwater, A, would be hard, and B, probably wouldn't have quite the same result.
Yeah. I don't think I could just clip out bounds like Mario does. And moving on to Luncheon Kingdom.
I still think that the best name for fish dip is definitely tartar sauce, as J Salmon is going for the tartar sauce clip here. Gonna be nabbing it looks like, and getting the out of bounds moon, so we'll see if he's able to stay out of bounds this entire time here. Very interesting new routing here, able to swim directly to these out of bounds moons. I don't think we're clipping in here, I think we're fine. Yep. Very nice. I think that might be the best execution of fish dip we've seen so far in the tournament.
It's always good to see.
Very clean. Going for the double bunk setup, which has been thought to be the most consistent. I'm not sure if that's a widespread common analysis, but it seems to me like most people, except for maybe the highest level runners, perhaps could just YOLO it, but either way, J Salmon making up some time here in Seaside.
Once again, I feel like J Salmon would be in the lead if he just didn't have that Woody Kingdom. Like, he died 3 times in Wooded.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a rough Woody Kingdom for J Salmon. I mean, I think we all kind of not necessarily counted him out, but it's definitely a solid Dan lead here for the most of the route. But I mean, J Salmon is making up time here and there. Made up time on the Mecha Wiggler fight. Made up time going for fish dip. But Dan, you know, not a slouch either. Going for that bullet building route. So really, honestly, J Salmon probably only making up a couple seconds, if anything, over the course of the route. And when you lose like a full minute in Wooded Kingdom, that can be hard to overcome.
Definitely. But, yeah, Dan exiting the on to the town. I keep forgetting what the town's called. Luncheon Kingdom.
It's called Luncheon Village.
No.
Lunchania.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I believe you. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a professional commentator. Come on.
True.
No, it's called Lunchania. Just come on.
Alright. Let's turn up into the pot. Get some moon. One of these times when I commentate, like without heads up, I just want to call like every skip dram. In Cap Kingdom, if someone does left side, I just say, and he successfully does Cap Dram.
That is a very unique comedic take right there. I've never seen it done before. You've also already spoiled your plans, so I mean.
I'm not doing it for this race because I realized that.
You realize that pretty much the same people are going to be in the chat regardless, though, right? It's pretty much the same audience every time.
They're gonna forget. They're gonna forget. Trust me, they'll forget. It's Twitch chat.
Commentator not believing in the Twitch chat, throwing some shade at the Twitch chat. I don't know about that. Maybe trying to win some points with the YouTube commenters.
Yeah, Mr. McPhee has what I was thinking of. Insert Kingdom here, Dram. Like, exactly. I was thinking. But yeah. And moving along quite smoothly.
Yeah, Salmon having a bit of trouble getting over that apple there, unfortunately. Gonna be losing a tiny bit of time, and there's not much more space for J Salmon to potentially make up time here with movement. Dan obviously looking pretty solid with movement everywhere, and we're nearing the end of the run. I mean, we got Bowser's Kingdom coming up. We also have Ruin Kingdom, of course, which it can have some potential time save if you go really super quick, but jasalmon just kind of losing time everywhere, I feel like, to Dan at this point. I mean, he's not going much slower, but I feel like Dan's just executing things with a little bit more gusto, and that's quite easy to do when you are in a solid position like this, when you're on a good run. It's way easier to keep your mentality in check.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Blowy Joey's making a return to Chrono's room here as we see Dan taking a bit of a twitch of the meat here as he's heading up to this multi-moon, the final multi-moon of the kingdom. jasalmon here in the Forks room, gonna be going for some pretty nice movement, seeing some up throws, getting the last pork skip. You'll love to see it.
You do. I still see stuff like that.
Chrono, please.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm trying to deal with it. I have like this Dollar Tree headset.
Chrono literally out in a tornado right now, unfortunately. Still managing to commentate though. Props to Chrono for being out in a tornado. The hurricane is just whizzing on by and he's still out there with his laptop reporting on the SMO action. That's respect right there.
You guys, I'm trying to get out of the hurricane.
Okay, really, you can't make fun of a commentator for being in a natural disaster. Like, that's just bad taste, guys. Come on.
Sorry, I can't. On to Ruined Kingdom. It's also gonna be ruined, my house after this hurricane.
That's not funny. Anyways, this is Ruined Kingdom, the kingdom where I'm supposed to read off a list, correct? This is the one where I go through a list and I just like name a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so like we got racers or something, like commentators, there's a restreamer, so we gotta put my name in there twice because, you know, this is the stream where I promote myself. Definitely follow me. This is a self-promotion channel. If you don't promote yourself while you're on commentary, you actually get banned from commentary for all future matches. So be sure if you are on commentary to shout yourself out. That is mandatory. Yeah, I guess we could shout at UAP. UAP is pretty cool.
These pretty bloggers.
They do help kids go to school, which is pretty awesome, especially in the United States where it is very difficult for kids who are not coming through, unfortunately, with the privilege of having an incredibly rich family or something like that. It is pretty hard to get to school, and game design is not one of those courses that's super, you know, touted as something that, you know, kids should get into to make money. It's more of one of those things that I know for me personally, when I told my parents I wanted to go to school for game design, they laughed at me. So getting your parents to support you with that, probably hard regardless of their status, but definitely good on UAP for helping out kids who wouldn't otherwise be able to follow their passions, get degrees in game design, and they do a lot of things for them. So go ahead and check them out if you are so inclined. That sounds interesting to you. You can find on their website places to donate to them if that is what you're into. But we'll also be running some campaigns. We got one going on next weekend for the Jack and Daxter finals, which will be pretty poggers. I don't know if anybody in here's been watching the Jack and Dak, but Jake and Dexter's a pretty good game, I must say.
Never played it. I know that my dad and my brother have. It seems like a sick game. I just never got around to playing it.
Yeah, you gotta be a little bit of a boomer in order to play it. It's like, came out in 2001, I think, which is when probably half the people in this chat room were born. So, I do have a lot of respect for a lot of the younger speedrunners in the audience, though. There's a lot of younger runners out there that will, you know, try out the older games. You know, we got a lot of people running SMB1, we got a lot of people running Super Mario 64, stuff like that. So, huge props for going back in time, not, you know, turning up your nose to the classics. Love to see it.
How old are you, Sarah?
I am actually 45,000 years old.
forgiving. I wish you actually said it earlier.
Yeah, no, I'm 27. I'm actually not the oldest person affiliated with GSA. I think we have a couple people in their 30s who do commentary, which is very interesting. You always think about Super Mario speedrunning, you think people that are like 17, but there are a few of us boomers out here that like to play Mario too.
I'm 13. I'm about to have my 14th birthday.
Poggers.
It's pretty poggers. But yeah, Dan gets his first moon in Bowser's. I think that was his first moon. Either way, he got a moon in Bowser's Kingdom.
I mean, I would be very impressed if he got a moon before that.
True.
So we will be heading up here. We'll see what the routing looks like. I think off the top of my head that Dan is a gamer that goes for the box break moon, but we will see here. Could be going for the Dram strat. Actually, no, I'm sorry. we had already seen that.
What is it? Aren't there two? What is the thing where you leave Cappy by the zip line? The moon after
Bowser Dram? Yeah, that's a moon you'd get regardless of which moon you choose to get. Typically, it's a pretty fast moon. So whether or not you go for the Dram strat, you'd still get it.
The truly Chad thing to do is to go for the shot moon.
Not sure if I can agree with that one. Unless you're into losing time.
What's like the... What would be like the funniest moon to get during a speedrun in Bowser's Kingdom?
That is not a question you should ask me, since I literally have not even found all the moons in this game.
Really?
Do not encourage Doge. Do not buy the clown outfit. It's not a good meme. No, please. I've seen Doge buy the clown outfit in enough races. We don't need to see more players buying the clown outfit. Either way, we got J Salmon grabbing the Ogre Moon here.
What do we do? Alright, Dan's is doing the Harriet fight first, which we always love to see. Always love it.
Yeah, again, I personally really don't care. I think that both are valid options.
Typing in chat, sorry if I'm a bit quiet.
Okay. A little bit suspect of what is about to be typed in chat.
I'm having a conversation with Mr. McPhee. So I'm telling him to buy an outfit in Bowser's Kingdom and change the language in Moon Kingdom.
I definitely would be careful about doing too much BM in a race, particularly if you're not racing against someone you personally know. Can cause some problems. If I already had to DQ someone in this tournament, I'd really not have to even worry about thinking about it for anyone else.
Wait, okay, tell me about this. I'm actually interested now.
I'd rather not talk about it. I will talk about another race which I should have disqualified someone for a long time ago, where there was excessive BM. Someone literally took their pants off and put them on top of their head during a race while on webcam. So that's just an example of BM that could potentially get you disqualified. Please don't try to push it. Try to make, you know, the competition friendly around here.
This is where I asked for types of BM that I could do without getting disqualified.
No, you don't, because we don't want, I don't want that to be a thing. Let's not make BM like a common thing. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it a good time.
I like that idea.
If you're racing against your friends, you know, you guys want to do something funny, like, go ahead, but like, let's not try to make stuff up. But Dan, taking a death here. That is a
That is
serious
first
death.
Might have been his first death.
It is definitely the most serious death we've seen from Dan so far, if not the first one. I do believe it was the first one, but definitely making a bit of a window here for jasalmon to potentially save some time. Hopefully we don't see another death here from Dan. That would be catastrophic, but we are coming up to mech as well, so a lot of potential time losses in the works for both runners, but we'll see how they both shape up here at the end of Bowser's.
Indeed we will. And it looks like that Dan is on to the mecha fight. And let's see how it will go.
Yeah, going for the birdless strat. Not super surprised at this skill level. I know Dan is a very solid runner, so it's not surprising to me. Going to be grabbing this topper kill here. Very nice stuff. Now we only have 2 more brutals to go, and mech is a bit of a tricky beast from this point on. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing a target acquired here. What do you think?
I think we'll see a target acquired here from Dan. He's been pretty consistent with all this stuff so far. I'd be surprised if he goes for it, which it looks like he is going for it.
Yeah, looks like we have a 50% target acquired rate for Dan so far in the tournament. We'll see if this one is successful, and it is not. Dan falling down here, dropping that down to a 33% success rate. Unfortunately, Dan just not able to nab it here, and that's going to be a nice little window of time for jasalmon. Not going to be the entire time save potentially, but will give an opportunity if jasalmon's able to have a cleaner mech here, as he is not falling and dying in the same place Dan did. So, a lot of opportunities for jasalmon here to catch up.
To say, that was probably one of the cleanest backups I've seen mech.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's a practice runner. Definitely knows what to do if things mess up. You don't get to a 102.11 without knowing your backups. And oh my gosh, as we were talking about how it's jasalmon's time to shine, taking a dive down all the way to the bottom of the Pokia wall. That's rough. And I mean, as we were saying, it is some time for jasalmon to potentially catch up, but as we can see, jasalmon not even in the mech fight yet, so even if he has a perfect mech fight, this is not going to bring jasalmon back into it. We need something else out of Dan.
Yeah.
This is neither the last race of the tournament or the last race of the day. This is the second last race of the day. We will be taking a break tomorrow as I gotta do some TO admin stuff. I got some things to work on. Also would like to have a little break. We have had Dance to help out with the research, which has been nice, but we'll be back on Wednesday and we'll have SMO matches daily again for the next week or so. So do not worry about missing any of the action. It will all be here on GSA. You can follow us on Twitter to get live scheduling updates. You can also keep up to date with everything in the Discord. There's also a schedule here. Going up to bookmark it. It has literally every single match that ever happens on GSA gets thrown up there. So do take a look at that as well. It's a little bit barren right now because we haven't gotten the scheduling out for the next couple days, but by tomorrow we'll have another batch of matches. So. Yeah, Marlon, we were literally just talking about the freshman tournaments, I don't know, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were.
Oh, and jasalmon taking a dip here, trying to make his way back up the mech somehow, some way, but unable to do so. Does take a tumble, and that's, if not the final nail in the coffin, it's one of the last ones, because Dan is already here in Moon Kingdom, making some flubs on the movement, but almost to the end of the movement section of Moon. Just has to nail the Moon Cave skip, Bowser fight, and 2D, and we should be in the clear. We have seen some pretty major time losses on Pillars. We've seen a death so far on Pillars. In the World Peace Tournament, we saw an Invisawall, unfortunately knocking BP out of the tournament, but we'll see what happens here as Dan just cruising through Moon Cave skip.
But at the same time, Dan could mess up 2DSS. It's a possibility.
I am very much wrapped up in doing GSA stuff, Marlon, so that is unfortunately impossible.
Dan's on to the last Bowser fight of the game.
Yep, looking pretty good right now, grabbing that first hat, rolling towards Bowser. Very quick stuff from Dan. Should have no issues dodging this fire. As many have stated before me, it is very menacing looking, but incredibly easy to dodge.
It always looks like the hitbox is like so high up, but it really isn't.
Yeah, it literally just checks if you're standing on the ground. Game design questions that will probably never be answered because Nintendo refuses to ever talk about the development of their games, unfortunately. Try to scrub every little piece of it from the internet. Oh, and Dan taking a booty burn. Was that a roll attempt? I can't even tell.
That was a roll. Sadly, I think this might be the end of the run, unless he messes this up, which he doesn't. But, yeah, Dan's about done with the Bowser fight. I'm surprised not a lot of people kept up with the copy pastas in chat.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been the difference here, definitely. I feel like the chat energy for J-Salmon has definitely died down in Metro Kingdom. There's a lot of chat hype for J-Salmon. We saw it come out, but unfortunately, Dan just impervious to that damage now as the copy pastas had just stopped.
Now, if we bring them back, then Dan might mess up. Just maybe, just maybe. Pops up successfully, breaks down the wall.
Yeah, but unfortunately, J-Salmon having some troubles with the Moon Cave skip, and it's just a little bit too late for J-Salmon at this point. There's just too much ground to cover. As someone recently mentioned in the chat, we'd have to see probably a couple deaths, if not a few, from Dan at this point to see a J-Salmon recovery in this one, but that is okay. I don't believe J-Salmon's out of it yet. We will take a look at the standings after this and double check it, but I do think Dan is definitely going to move on after this. I mean, Dan's going to be 3-0. That's kind of crazy.
It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not surprised seeing how consistent he's been. Like all of his runs. It's just Dan's just a good runner.
Dan's kind of nutty. Gotta agree. As we are heading into the pillar sequence here, get your cat jams in the chat. If I see any Pep ADs, you know what will happen. That is an instant ban, I believe. That's not in the chat rules. It should be. Cat Jam, obviously the superior dancing emoji.
Really? Always has been.
Chrono, the only person to use Cat Jam and messing it up, but that's okay. We got JH here with the superior emote. You'd love to see it.
Yeah. I used to be a fan of Lip Potato, but after seeing him type in those Pep ADs, very disappointed.
I mean, you gotta agree. Definitely going to consider whether or not to let him back into the commentary booth after that one. I mean, directly going against the rules in the chat, it's kind of cringe.
Yeah.
But we got Dan wrapping things up here with a high 103, a very solid race for him. As we got J-Sound finishing things up in the Bowser room. And Peach getting crushed by a cube there, just going to end the game early. That's a very interesting RNG aspect of this game where Peach can't get actually crushed. Oh, wait, no, there she is. Okay. Weird champ.
I have to say, I wonder what it would be like if there was like a category where you couldn't skip any cutscenes.
Oh, I think it'd be fantastic. I think all cutscenes should, or no cutscene skip should definitely be a category. I'm a big fan of cutscenes.
I would love to. I'm pretty sure because there would actually be some like route optimizations. For instance, mainly Cap Kingdom would be changed because of the frog cutscene. like it would just be optimal to skip that.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, it would add a lot of time, but it'd also be very epic.
Would be. jasalmon gang through the escape sequence pretty quickly. Very well. Once again, like, jasalmon had like a great run, but he just could not get out of Wooded Kingdom.
Yeah, Wooded Kingdom was definitely the bane of jasalmon's existence, unfortunately, but it's all alright because there is more matches to be played. jasalmon kind of try to wrap up this one on a good note. So far looking pretty good, getting that first pillar pretty fast.
Now, here is where you put the correct emote in chat, which is Cat Jam. If we could all just put in Cat Jam really quickly, that would be great. Right? Cat Jam? Jam.
Hey, soft jams are also accepted. That is also an acceptable emoji.
Everyone's doing this really weird thing that's called Pep AD. No, people are weird. There we go. Nerd put some cat jams in there. That's good to see.
Yeah, but jasalmon wrapping things up with a 106.25, finishing almost 3 minutes behind Dan, but with that Wooded that we saw earlier, we've talked about it quite a bit. I mean, it can't be helped. It's just where we're at, unfortunately.
I'm not sure if jasalmon can do an interview, as you said earlier. This was pre-streamed.
Yeah, not sure. Doesn't seem like jasalmon was busy for the entirety of it, but I haven't seen him in a while. So I would expect we're just going to get an interview from Dan here, which is totally fine. Looks like jasalmon forgetting to play through the credits. That's okay. That's okay. We're just going to get some post-race commentary from jasalmon from the VOD. That's totally fine. Unprofessional stream. Cringe. Report us.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is like top of the line.
Yep.
This is best you'll see.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of times where people are like, oh man, you guys should do this or that, and it really improve the stream, like, and make it look so professional. I'm like, you realize we have no budget and barely any volunteers, right? Like, we can only do so much. We do our best here. I think we do a pretty good job, but we're going to pull in Dan here for an interview. Dan, how's it going?
Hi.
Congrats on your victory, going undefeated in your group. How do you feel about it?
I feel like I'm doing well. Like, I practiced a lot for this, and I played pretty consistently. Other than the 2 big mistakes, which were missing nut clip and 3-cycle wiggler.
Yeah, I mean, those were some times definitely where we were able to hype it up a little bit. I don't know if you watched jasalmon's run at all, but he had a pretty terrible time in Wooded, and it was kind of like downhill from there.
I didn't see what happened, but I checked on the stream. Like, I stopped watching after I missed nut clip, and then I checked the stream and like C-set, and then I see he's like 2 minutes behind. I'm like, what? I was so confused, and then there was Wooded, which makes sense.
Yeah, what happened was jasalmon was he fell into deep woods and then died like 3 times.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Like, cause like after that he had some really good stuff. Like he got 2-cycle wiggler. He had very clean movement in Metro. It was just like the Wooded Kingdom that really just brought him down for the rest of the race.
Yeah. Me and Salmon are friends and we race a lot, and most of the times where we raced, he just gets like really in like 103s and stuff. So it's very unfortunate this Wooded just brought down his entire run.
I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for that Wooded, it would have been like very close. But either way, you won, and congrats to you for being undefeated in your group.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely worth looking at the standings here a little bit. So jasalmon not looking too shabby in his group, actually sitting at 1-1 over Minibor sitting at 0-1 and Nemox sitting at 0-2. Nemo gonna have a bit of a hard road here. I'm not sure if it's theoretically possible for him to still move on, but Mini Boris and jasalmon still fighting for that second spot in Group C, which in every group, the top 2 at the end of group play will advance on to the playoffs bracket, which we've got 32 players, so that's 16 people moving on. Got some pretty good chances to move out of here. And Dan, of course, already clinching that spot along with some other runners in pretty good running, namely Drew, Samru, and Twisted Duck. All pretty much guaranteed to move on. So we will see how things develop here. But we are going to be heading into the next matchup, which will be Mr. McPhee versus IMJ, the last matchup of the day in Division B and for the entire tournament. Just for today, though, we will be back on Wednesday, remember. So stick around, we'll be right back.